Alright, Budget Magic time, Suicide Black in Modern. Oh, so many avatars of Discord. I think we have to mulligan that one. Alright, we will keep this. This hand's actually pretty good. We'll also keep Blood Scrivener. So, Leechridden Swamp, go. So we get a bunch of 2-drops. We should be able to get, hopefully, empty-handed and then start drawing cards with Asylum Visitor, our bad bobs, essentially. See what our opponent's up to. Plains. And, ooh, alright. Opponent's going to be gaining some life. Well, let's just go Swamp and Pack Rat. If our opponent passes it, that means we get to play an Abyssal Persecutor or double Bad Bobs. Asylum Visitor and Blood Scrivener. Oh, Bad Bobs. Plains for our opponent, and the good news is we have lots of removals, so we should be able to kill their big threats. Martyr of Sands for our opponent, up to 22. And passes. Well, Swamp and pass the turn. Gonna start making some rats. Opponent's gonna sack Martyr of Sands. Oh my goodness. Why is it in our refield zone? Blessed Reversal. Soul Warden, White Sun's Passage, and a Johnny's Pridemate. Alright. Well, they have some life gain. That is true. So that's our opponent's hand, plus whatever they just drew. There's a Soul Warden. Up to 38 life. Oh no! And they drew a Seer Ascendant? Okay. Gains even more life. Opponent passes. We discard a Blood Scrivener. Make a rat. Come on, land. Alright, Ghost Quarter works. So we get to play an Abyssal Persecutor, which at least trades with Seer Ascendant. And we know our opponent's hand again, and they don't have a Path to Exile. A Johnny's Pridemate, also going to get fairly big. But we will draw removal. We have a ton of removal in this deck. Opponent, no attacks. There's a Dismember. That's good. So let's just dismember a Johnny's Pridemate. Go down to 18. Play Asylum Visitor. And pass the turn. So if we draw land, we actually get empty-handed next turn, which would be nice. Ether Vial for our opponent. And another Soul Warden. Well, we pretty much know our opponent's hand. Blessed Reversal in White Sun's Passage. Well, there's the land. So let's get in with Abyssal Persecutor. Opponent takes it. Down to 44. We kind of want to get them down on life if we can because of Chalice of Life and Death. If they draw and play and flip that, that would be a problem. Opponent goes back up to 47. We play a Swamp. Pass the turn. So now we're going to get to start drawing 2 cards a turn thanks to Asylum Visitor. We just got to hope they don't get a Chalice of Life and Death down. Alright, another Pridemate. Pridemate's fine. So we know their hand again. Blessed Reversal and White Sun's Passage. So I think we're in good shape now that we're drawing 2 cards a turn. Because we will find removal. And once we find removal, we can deal a lot of damage. We have double Abyssal Persecutor, plus Active Pack Rat, plus Asylum Visitor to draw us extra cards. Opponent's going to attack. Alright. Well, we are going to trade off with our Abyssal Persecutor. Opponent's up to 56. We draw an extra card. Hopefully not 2 lands. Gatekeeper and Call to the Netherworld. Let's see. So we can pass Pack Rat, discard Call to the Netherworld, cast it for free with Madness, get back. Actually, let's just cast Call to the Netherworld, get back Blood Scrivener. Play Blood Scrivener. Opponent gains some life. just cast a Gatekeeper. Opponent gains some more life. Then we'll get in with Abyssal Persecutor. Put our opponent all the way back down to 56. And just pass the turn. So now I think we can draw 3 cards a turn. We are losing life in the process, but we'll hit a Great Merchant eventually. Opponent gets a land. So we still know their hand, Blessed Reversal and White Sun's Passage. We will definitely chump with this Gatekeeper. Yep, so block a Johnny's Pridemate with the Gatekeeper. So Asylum Visitor triggers, which should trigger a Blood Scrivener. Alright, there's our removal. So Swamp. Kill a Johnny's Pridemate. Do some attacking. Yeah, let's just get in with Abyssal Persecutor. Down to 50, and pass the turn, see what our opponent gets. Vial ticks up to 3. And another Soul Sister. Sure. I think we're going to kill something to get empty-handed. So let's just kill a Soul's Attendant. So that lets us draw 3 cards. Drawing 3 a turn is pretty sweet, and Pack Rat can keep us empty-handed. So let's 1-2 play a Pack Rat, pumps up our Pack Rats. Opponent gains some life, and then we play a Swamp. Do a bit of attacking. Ugh. I guess I clicked the Summoning Sick Rat. We wanted to attack with 1 more rat. Now let's discard the Swamp. Opponent gains some life. We make bigger rats. They're going to need a Wrath, though. We're getting pretty close to the point where they're just going to die. We can actually make double rats a turn. Our rats are going to be huge. Although they can gain a bunch of life still if we attack with everything. What's our opponent have? Nothing? Alright, we draw 3. Down to 11. Whoo, there's our Great Merchants. Well, let's do some attacking. I'm expecting, yeah, there's Blessed Reversal. It goes up to 64. Down to 42. And then we'll just Gray Merchant for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Also gains us a bunch of life. And pass the turn. We're not going to be able to draw extra cards next turn, but we get our opponent all the way down to 35. And our board is huge, and we have another Gray Merchant. And we even get to ping our opponent for 1 with Leech-Ridden Swamp. Ranger of Eos gains our opponent some life, searches out some 1-drops. Does our opponent live another turn, though? Not necessarily. Goes up to 38. We Leech-Ridden Swamp for 1. Down to 37. Draw a Swamp, 5. Alright, let's play the Swamp. Swing with everything except our Bad Bobs. See if our opponent blocks. Blocks a rat. 4, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 4, 8, 12, 18. So we're hitting for 20. And then Gray Merchant is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Our opponent's going to go full out block mode. Alright. Well, never mind. We're not hitting for as much then. So that's fine. We'll just let this go. Put our opponent to 29. Gray Merchant puts our opponent down to 17. We're up to 33 and pass. So they're pretty much at Wrath of God or bust here. Their 1-drops are not going to help them. They got 2 Seer Ascendants, but they're all the way down to 17 life, and our board is mega lethal. Alright, they gain 5. Up to 22. I don't think that saves them. and scoops it up. They did not. They could have kept playing because of our Abyssal Persecutor, because technically we got to actually kill that to win. But this seems like a pretty reasonable matchup, and probably even more reasonable when we bring in Ratchet Bombs to deal with a potential Chalice of Life and Death, and maybe Drowned in Sorrow. Smother actually seems really good against this deck. Maybe go down the Dismembers for more real removal. Another card that isn't as exciting is our Gatekeepers, or at least all of our Gatekeepers, because they're likely going to have some little bad things to sack. But we do need to make sure we can kill our Abyssal Persecutor. Let's go down Gatekeepers and bring in a couple Drown in Sorrows. Also maybe Bile Blight and go down. Here, let's sort this by converted mana cost. Go down one Avatar Discord, and let's try it like that. Alright, well, we got Blood Scrivener and Pack Rat, and even Called to the Netherworld for the Wombo combo. And a Drown in Sorrow if our opponent just plays a million Soul Sisters. What we don't have is any hard removal to kill a big creature that they might have, or a way to deal with Chalice of Life and Death. Swamp Go. Vials ticking up. Another land for our opponent. Vials in a Soul Warden. And then plays a Pridemate. Alright. Our opponent's going to start pumping up their Pridemate, unfortunately. And we don't have a way to just kill it. Swamp, Pack Rat, pumps up the Pridemate. Pass the turn. Vials up to 2. Maybe I was wrong to take out Dismembers, actually. Maybe we need those. Windbrisk Kites for our opponent. Maybe we should just play all the possible removal to kill the Pridemates. Opponent gets in 4/4. We draw a Blood Scrivener. Alright, let's just play Ghost Quarter and pass the turn for now. No attacks. Ether Vial ticks up. Another Ether Vial. Opponent gets in for 4. Sure. We're going to make a rat. Discard a Blood Scrivener. Gains our opponent life, pumps up the Pridemate. We would like to find actual removal. Another Ghost Quarter. Let's just play a Swamp and pass the turn. Do we want to attack? We're getting close to the point where we're going to have to start blocking, or we die. I guess we can attack. Let's get in with our rats. Put our opponent down to 19, pass the turn. Vials doing their thing. Another land for our opponent. Ooh, attacks with both? Alright, well, we will discard a card. Our Call to the Netherworld. Madness Call to the Netherworld. Get back our Blood Scrivener. Make another rat. Pumps up the Pridemate. And then just block the Soul Warden. We are going to be in full-on block the Pridemate mode, though. Ooh, and a Grey Merchant? Alright, let's just play a Swamp. Play a Blood Scrivener. And let's attack with all our rats. Oh, they got Vial, though. That could blow us out pretty hard. Is it better to play defense? Let's attack with our rats. What's the worst that could happen? Blessed Reversal. I guess that's pretty bad. Do we want to discard right now? Yeah, let's wait. Put our opponent back down to 20. Pass the turn. Vials ticking up all the way up to 5. What is this deck doing? Another Windbrisk Kites. Well, we definitely got to just chump with this Blood Scrivener. Block the Pridemate. Lose our Blood Scrivener. Discard Drown in Sorrow, make a rat. Play a swamp, attack with our rats. If our opponent can't do anything, I think we just win with rats. Files in a Divinity of the Pride? Alright. Hopefully they do not also have life gain. Blocks a rat. It's actually a tricky decision. If our opponent could gain 5 life, do we lose? That goes up to an 8-8. We hit them, so they'd be at 28, and we'd hit for 4, 8, 6, 12, 18. Huh. We could lose because of this, but I think this is what we gotta do. Rat, discard a Ghost Quarter. Alright, opponent drops to 9. Just pass. Whew! Alright, we dodged the bullet. They couldn't put in something else that would kill us. An evasive creature here, we actually don't have removal for it, so we could just die. But we dodged the bullet, and now I think we're pretty much good. Our opponent's back to needing a Wrath of some kind, because our pack of rats is pretty massive. Another Pride Mate, not going to do it. Opponent passes. Well, let's discard the Blood Scrivener. Make another rat. Swing with all of our rats. This has got to be a record-setting amount of rat damage for Modern. Actually, probably not. Opponent has another Divinity of the Pride. Does this even keep them alive, though? Blocks. Does not block. Blocks. 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 6, 12. Alright, we're just going to go for it. Discard a Swamp. Discard a Gray Merchant. And... oh, Pack Rat. Still good. Taking down Soul Sisters. Sweet.